Good afternoon, happy bank holiday. I think it's a bank holiday, isn't it? Not too sure. Look at that, my favourite. Oh, if you want to go and let people know that I'm on, because I didn't put a thing out before, and that'd be, oh sorry, I'm advertising there. Yeah, I didn't put it out before the other day. Well, what day was it? Can I remember? Can I not? No. So, it's going to be a really quick one today. Hi Liz, hi Dawn. Hey Dawn, I'm loving your new style, not new style, your discovered style. It's amazing. That's the thing, when you find something good and you make sure you use it. Yeah, so we've got some more people in. I think it might be a quiet one today, might it? I hope not. I'll tell you what I've been listening to, guys. The old Depeche Mode. Really loving it. I tell you what, he looks quite good now, considering all the stuff he's been through, his life. Wow, he's come out the other end. Well, he might have, he might not have. Go get yourself your pens and your pencils, guys. Hello, hello, hello. Right. Okay. Yes, I've been listening to good old Depeche Mode. Hello. Right, let's see who's in. Hi Jane, hi Lena, hi Emma, hi Karen, hi Sue, hi Jenny, hi Kim. Does my video keep pausing? Hi Dawn, hi Linda, hi Sally. Oh, keep me in. Just let me know how it goes on, guys, because if it starts to freeze and that, it might be because everyone's using the computer, the bandwidth or whatever. I know it's probably a fallacy that, but you can't help but think it's got to be a bit true. It's going to be a really quick, simple collage today because I'm getting prepped. Let me show you all my cards got ready to do. People don't believe I do this. Oh, I know internet. Sometimes it's a blessing, isn't it? So these are the cards I've designed. Well, you can hardly call that designing, but these are all the ideas I've got for the shows. And it's all like big shout out to Jane's Health for cranking the machine. No, not cranking the machine. She helped me out a lot. So yeah, so I've got all the ideas. I know what it means. To other people it just looks like a load of crap, but yeah, this is the collage. This is what I've got for tomorrow. So I've got several, you know, that you could adapt yourself and add other things, and that's what I'm thinking of doing. I'm going to make some little bags today because it's incredible. It's harder than I thought, guys, with my ribs. It is much harder than I thought. So I'm not going to kid you, it's a little bit difficult, but I'll battle on. I know I'm annoying the hell out of Mark, but I won't give up, you see, and then I do too much. But I just won't give in, and I don't want to give in. So I just like the idea of, I love the Moodles, I love what we do, and I love um, the whole element of it being organic. So I've only got an A5 sheet. That's all I'm going to use today. Don't think I'll be colouring because I've got, I mean, it helps me, to inspires me as well. So, you know, I'm not just doing some work like moodling, I'm actually inspiring myself. So I've got this A5 piece. I have got some different sizes of, the stencils are all here. If you go to my storefront, you'll notice that I use these a lot now, and these are bookbinding rulers. They're actually on mine now, and these start there, which is very important because they don't start with a little gap. They start at the edge, so you put the edge to everything rather than the little dot, and that really helps when you're measuring. To measure properly, you get a real good measurement. So before, let me show you on here. And you just see there how you've got a gap before the dot. Can you see? And on my rulers, I don't. So my measurement starts from the edge of that. Because that, all depending on where you're looking and where you're sitting, could be all different. So I'll show you, like, so I'm sat back here and I look like I'm on it there, but I know I'm not now. Oh, now I'm over it. So if I do that, I know I'm on it. Or I put up to something solid like that, and then I know I'm on it. I've just moved it. But do you know what I mean? You can put something straight on your sheet against your paper. Sorry, I can't get it like that, and you know whether it's straight or not. So I can't do that with the. But it's just a little tip that I think's really helped me. So we've got, hi Karen, hi Sally, hi Dawn, right, hi Alison. Hi Rachel. Yeah, so she was clonking away with the machine, was our Jane, and she helped me out a lot. So I've got some really nice little ideas, and I've been making my own sort of, not MDF, chipboard. No, not chipboard. Yeah, chipboard elements. Been making my own. Oh, thank you, Dawn. Thanks so much. Oh, wow, thank you. I'm concentrating on a lot of stencils and stamps this time, but I know you'll love him because you like what you like now. Um, so it's, I don't quite understand what you mean, Karen. Thickness of it alters marks too, probably, but I'm not too sure what you mean. Hi, Audrey. Audrey, I'm getting there. It's healing. It's so slow. It is. As you get older, there's no joke, is there? It's a pain in the butt, but yeah, I am. But I'm finding it so difficult. I'm pushing, and then push, stop. But I'm finding that you probably understand this. I've got other things as well, like my back is one of them. There's the spondylosis, spondylitis, whatever you want to call it. It's part of the fibro stuff, and it's caused like a knock-on effect, if that makes any sense. And you don't feel it till one goes away, then the pain of something else is sort of put in there, and you're like, oh, hang on, I get the feeling. It almost was masking it. So as one thing goes, you're left with like, and I've got this crazily painful back now, and that was like not felt before. Ruler, right? I suppose it probably does, yeah. So it's sort of masking, and we'll all know this through the illness and stuff. It masks one, it takes one away, and you're like, wow. Or it's like when the numbness in your mouth wears off after the dentist, and you're like, oh, hang on, that's hurting there. Why is it? And it's this progressive thing. So I'm hoping that that's healing, because this is driving this to me. This has drove me nutty, absolutely nutty. Anyway, let's get on with this. So I want you to get all the shapes you can find. Utilize items in your house. If you haven't got rulers and things, go and get. I don't like my CD. This is my second one. I've burnt out. Would you believe it? And I cracked this one. I burnt out 2 full sets of these. I've listened to these books, each book, over 20 times. It's on my Audible. Each book 20 times at least, and the films 50, 60 times each. Yep, I'm definitely, and I can even quote sometimes. Anyway, enough. So get your shapes, get what you want. Like, don't look at the, like that. Don't look at the, what it is. Look at the shape. Do you like the shape? That's a lovely shape. I mean, 3-dimensionally, it's a beautiful shape. Yes, there you go, Alison. You'll understand that. You know, I've got it in my fingers, and you can feel. It's just, I don't know. You don't need to explain it to people. They just know. So look at the object for the shape of it rather than the actual object, what it is. Just look at something for a different reasons, like the ruler. The shape of that is perfect for just drawing lines on, isn't it? The shape of a pen, although hard to draw around, is good. The shape of this empty can or anything. Just, I've not got that much here, but you could look at things in a different light and you'll suddenly see that the shape that they've got on them is quite beautiful when you put the shapes together. So this is a true from the bottom up moodling. So get your stuff and let's get going. I've got some pencil. I've got a pencil there. I've got a rubber. I've got a pen. I'm using my thinner pens today, and we're going to go really organic with this. So I'll give you 30 seconds to run around now. Yes, Alison, I think me and you. Yeah. I wouldn't even know how many times. I'm like you. I listen to it every single night to go to sleep, because it takes my mind off my head going blah, 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 blah. So I listen to my book, put myself in the story of the book, and then I go off. Oh yeah, Lord of the Rings as well. It's got to be anything that I can lose myself in and become part of for my own mental health. It gets rid of me concentrating on those things I have no control over. So I get straight into the Harry Potter there. I'm part of it, and I'm in the film, and that I love it. It just, sometimes if you're ever going to try it, pick a film that you really enjoy and that it's not going to make you think, or you're not going to get worried or scared. Anyway, enough. Right, okay. I'm just discovering I've just got something else to look at, so. Oh, you know what time it is. Right, okay. Oh yeah, I did find these. I'll put a shout out to people if they want them. And these are sewing stencils, are really good. Oh yeah, do you know what? The disc wheels, that's on my to-do list. I have got some, but I've not gone, no, I don't know, I've not got through with them and stuff. I need to get my head around that. I really do. So I've got this shape here, which is perfect for this. So I'm going to use this shape to draw around. Oh, excuse me. And I like the rounded corners because I just think it's a softer shape, because the square and lines meeting together can mean it's quite hard. And I don't want it to be hard. So there, I've got that. I've got all sorts of different ones, you know. That's an A5, but that's so handy that I've got round ones. Oh, I'm as big. Oh, there's the one. I need to take that with me because that's one of my designs. That, believe it or not, transfers to that, which is laughable. I know. There, that one is that. Get it? Good. Yes, exactly, Karen. Exactly. Absolutely, Karen. I do that. And I can still listen to my book though as well. It's really weird because it's not offensive in any way. Not to me anyway. So I've got these here and I want to do some really nice patterns. And I'm going to sort of use this as a guide, this edge. So I'm not going to measure it per se, but I'm going to say that is the edge and I'm going to sort of eyeball it up here. So I'm just going to go straight in. And this is going to be like we did at school. Use the edge of the actual shape. Forget that it's you just have to draw the inside. No, remember you can draw the outside of your shape, then divide it. So don't, when we're using shapes, we tend to just use the inside, and it's not the be all and end all, because you just, when you start to observe, you really see things for what they are and not what you think they are. So they no longer have the meaning of it just being use this because it's got shapes in it, but use the shape that it's around. Look at the shape it takes up, the negative space, the positive space, and you can just go on forever. So I'm using the edge of this to round. I'll go round them all this way. It's a little trick. Right, so I've got some rounded corners, so when it comes to these, just do that. Get me? You just sort of keep doing that. Oh, I'll have to read these. I'm reading at the moment. Oh, they're really good. I love historical stuff as well. I'm a big fan of that. I listen to In the Name of the Road, Umberto Eco. That's great, In the Name of the Rose, but it's not for everyone, I suppose. But read that. That's only a few hours, that. And then what was the other one I did? Oh, Saracen's Mark. That's quite good. It's about the 1800s in London, Shoreditch and all that, and about all different sorts of things. Oh, I remember the name, but yeah, it's like Matthew Shardlake and all those, grazing, and I love historical stuff. Right, I'm gonna see, this is out of line here, so I'm gonna. You can either do two things. You can knock that one down or bring that one out. I think I'll bring that one out to put it in line with that. There we go. Yeah, I've just been listening to me. Made me start rocking my own personal Jesus. Yeah, I was really going for it. So, can you see now how the shape is like a mosaic? But it's not just a mosaic, it's also a... It's so... Oh wait, does that fit? It's also very organic. Oh, look at that. Well, I've been with Audible for about, oh gosh, I haven't got a clue really. And it's the first thing I renew. Well, I don't, it's on auto renew every year. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to round off the corners. And I might soften the whole look of this off a little bit to make it less angular. Can it bin men? I tell you what, if someone starts mowing that lawn, I'm going out with a bazooka. And the only bazooka I've got is one of them music ones. No, it's not a bazooka, it's a comb and paper. I'll go and attack them with that. Right, so I've got this. Starts to look like some sort of board, doesn't it? So There we go. So I've got the idea of it being, it's quite, uh, it looks like a storyboard, doesn't it? You know, when you start to look at it like that. But I love it when I just do something organic and then I split it, and I am going to split it, and I'm going to use maybe shapes within shapes as well. I did this not long ago, and I really enjoyed doing it, and I think I might add a little bit of colour and pattern on top because I've got some pencils. Oh no, I haven't. I took them back up. Oh, just when you think. So I'm using that line. Maybe knock off that carbuncle on it. Yeah, I really like that now. So simple, isn't it? Yeah, I love white and black. It's so good. If you get a black marker on this, like a big one, and you could just do that now. Absolutely. So this is, so you can make this into landscapes, into anything. And I think I don't know. I have to be in mood to have an idea and work with it. For this sake, I've not planned this to the point where I have to do it. I had an idea. So I'm going to sort of take my time. I also read copious books on art and design and artists, and also how to do stuff. I've got loads of lessons online as well that I go to. If I don't know about it, I'll learn about it. I'd love to do another degree, but I can't afford it. So, see there, I've got a bit of a wobble. Make your wobble count. Like that there. You see? Make your wobble count. All your wobbles count. So, here, it's like I'm learning to do the stitches at the moment, and I thought I knew a lot about stitching historically as well as sort of contemporary artworks, because it was fibre art was part of my degree. And when I say fibre art, it was exactly that. I made the cotton at a place called Quarrybank Mill, and I actually physically made it from balls, and then I spun it because I worked at the mill, you see. And then I took it to Norton Priory. So I was putting it back into nature, and I made a tree out of it. And the nature that took over it within a week of say making it. I could only use the tools apart from a ladder. I had to have a ladder. I could only use the tools around me and a hammer. I couldn't use anything mechanical, and it was amazing. Yeah, it was really amazing. The first one, when my tutors came to see it, had been pulled down by a bunch of kids that had come in. My tutors went mad because they said the second one that I built didn't have the same character. It's because it was rushed. So I was a bit gutted, but yeah, It was all about feminism, really, and about how women make, do, and mend. We'll make something brilliant out of nothing, and how it's considered to be craft. I think I'd be very different with it now. I think I'd go about it a little bit differently, and by that I mean I'd do more work on my thesis, because I was very interested in the research, but writing it. But now with hindsight and experience, I'd love to rewrite it. So yeah, so I've come across a lot of amazing artists, three-dimensional artists, two-dimensional artists. Absolutely love them. Oh gosh, yeah, it is. Quarrybank Mill's a brilliant National Trust place. Um, yeah, I worked up in the loft, the weaving sheds, and up in the loft, I had one of the weavers, the cottage weavers from about 16 to 1700. So I was wearing costume, which was horrendous, stupid. I had to wear the scarf on my head and everything, but I wouldn't. So when I was on the actual looms, you know, I didn't think about my feet. And one kid said to me, "It's true this. You can ask him there." I said, "Any questions?" He said, "Yeah." Put their hand up, looking really. Yeah. I said, "Yes. What do you want to know?" I didn't know that Adidas were that old, and I went, "Pardon?" And I looked. I had my trainers on, didn't I? So they were watching my feet on the pedals of my loom, and they thought that Adidas were part of her. And I was like, right, okay, yeah. No, not quite. It was so funny. Because they were dead serious, you know, dead serious. I know my dad wears them, but I didn't think they were that old. Anyway, what I've done is I've drawn the lines in now to get some nice texture feel to it. It feels a lot softer now. You look at the first one I did, was very angular, but now just that corner bit off it. Hi Sylvia, you've missed another me witherism. So just taking corners off it and giving it a bit of a softer line has created something really different. And each one of these, hello Jackie, good, welcome. Each one of these can be its own. So I'm going to be quite mindful when I do these that I don't create too much of a wiggle. I want it to be keep within the realms of the shape, just a little bit out, because I like the idea of playing with this. I'm using a point 0.5, not a 0.5, a 0.5, 0.05, and I'm just playing with the same line. So like that's quite straight. So if I just then interrupt that line a little bit with another one, I can't really get too close. Can you see? There we go, that's a bit better. I actually, you know, there's sometimes, isn't there, when you just pick up something and you think, right, I'm loving that. This could be a really good stamp. So what I've done is I've got some nice little curves going on, and what you can do is just be playful with these now. And I always say a variation on a theme is really important to me because it gives it cohesiveness. So whilst it's not exactly the same, there's a resemblance. So here it would be one. So 3 lines, 3 dots. Three dots, 3 lines, same way, same but different. And I'm being really mindful of these being small because I want it to be small, I don't want it big. There we go. So it's all, hey Lewis, how are you doing, sweetheart? Are you there tomorrow? Will I see you? I know you will help me. I'm dreading it a bit, you know, because I can't pick anything up. I'm just hoping that people get the message. I can't do it and they help me a bit. I don't like asking for help though. That's what the problem is, isn't it? So anyway, what I'm doing is I'm just resemble. Please, if you want to have a look at something amazing, then have a look at Leo of London. Oh, you're off tomorrow. Blow me neck. Well, you need to be a bit of a relaxing then. I tell you what, can you put a link to your fabric on my page, please, so I can show everybody? Because your fabric is amazing. I know Alice Wheeler loves it, but people really want to, guys, you want to see this. He's worked in the industry designing for a long, long time. He's worked some big names, and he's got his own stuff out. I was so pleased, and he's doing his junk journals, and he's addicted. He's addicted. If I hope I can get him to do a flick through for us. It's stunning, absolutely. So here I'm just popping in. Again, it's the idea of amalgamation and cohesiveness. So it's always going to be three, but it can be a two and a one, or it can be a 1, 2, 3. And I'm just going to have a little play on one of them, maybe with the stitching that I did, because I know Philippa mentioned that as soon as she saw that, she was like, I really like that. So it's like a mirror image, but then it is Leo of London. Sorry, I thought Lewis of London. Sorry, it's Leo of London. Sorry, it's my fault. I knew it was something of London. Sorry, guys. It's Leo of London. Right. I've got some. I'll put it on. Do you know what? I've got a really nice bag of seam that Anne Redfern did it a while back. It was like a doctor's bag, and I'm really hoping that I can get the thing to do that. Right, here what I've done is some stitching. So we've made it. There, here we go. Yay! Please have a look at that. Yeah, I'm on Telly tomorrow. Now I'm going to introduce you to a weave I was looking at when I was doing my drawing and doing my research. I was on stitches because I like to know where they come from so I can say, oh, thanks, Rachel. Oh, here we go. See it there? It's amazing. Anyway, so I was thinking about Hessian. Now, if you've got some Hessian yourself, it's a good way you can print with it. Now, what I've done is I've done it a little bit wrong there because it's a bit juddery. What you need to do is basically now I'm just making some strange marks now like that. And what this is going to be is fabric. Ripped fabric. Does it, Nicola? I think it might be your end because mine seems to be fine. I know people keep popping in and out. So what I'm doing is I'm doing something that we call a scrim. And whilst I've been researching, this is what it made me think of, about how you can pull scrim, and it was like wattle and daub, you know, and horsehair, and there's that mesh, and the mesh was made from sacking and stuff. Right, yes. Some people can only watch it on a laptop for some reason. Right, so now what I'm going to do is just put the first line on, which will be the selvage. There we go. Right, it looks quite strange. Yeah, go back. It might look better. I know it happens. Can you see how? Thanks, Sally. Can you see how I'm sort of differing the, and this is like when you see the weave of a pattern, and it looks really like raggedy, and I just love it. So I thought, oh, because there's parts of the pattern that are just, you rip it apart, and it brings this edge like this. See? Now you bring in the threads lower, and I'll even put a few breaks in. I really like that. It's really fragile. That's going to make a great. Oh, I shouldn't say it. Sorry. Sorry. You didn't hear that. Right, can you see? But if you do that big enough, that's a brilliant moodle. Right, so we've got that. So here, what we're going to do is just put one line, simple line like that, because we've got this very, very sort of concentrated line here. Now, what you can do is, I think, just to finish that off, because I want it to look, I want people to sort of touch it and think, oh, is that actually fabric? I know that it won't look like that, but if I did this in brown and stuff, it probably would. But I'm just adding my own little bit of stitching around the edge, and it's given me so many ideas for right, I've got to go and get my plumber's tape out now. Right, so it feels more contained, and it's got an edge to it stitch. And here what you can do is add that. This is like it's weird, isn't it, how things really make an impact on what we're doing. So like I'm researching stitches and medieval art and tapestry works, and here we go. You know, it's made this thing come. It's sort of coming to obviously what I'm drawing. So here I'm doing like this would be the other side. Quite like that idea. You know, the back side of a hemming stitch, a hand hemming stitch. Yeah, Erin got all those things. Oh, you, Emma, I hope you're okay, sweetheart. So, almost, right? I really like that. So here, I'm just going to go on with some patterns now. So I've got the 3 circles in there. I can't stop singing it now. No, I've got a right earworm. My own personal Jesus. So I've got, there they are, this wonderful shape here. It lends itself so well. I know it's a test tube. So I just saw it and thought, oh, I love that. Hasn't got the other side, so I'll have to make do. Yeah, it's got these test tubes. I don't know what that is. It's like a glue gun. Oh, it's for science, isn't it? This shape's rather good. So what I'm doing, this one's really good. It's got all sorts of patterns on it. It really has been useful. So I've got the squares and the circles. There's one that I really love, this one, and I really like this shape, and it's almost too good to not do. And it's like squares, the opposites. And these look like great running stitches. Yeah, I was doing raised embroidery last night and stump work, which I really love. So we've got that really big pattern there. And there's another one here that I'm just going to put down here. The only one problem with this sort of pattern is your pen sort of slips off. You've got to be in control. So take your time. But if you want to know where these patterns are, if you go to my storefront on my link on my first page, you'll see it's there. It's my Amazon storefront, and it's got all the stuff that I use, the pens, the paper, everything. If you go to my storefront, you'll see it's got things like journaling, moodling, and each one has got each one's got like a, what you call it, a category that's easy for you to follow. Yeah. So I'm not too sure about this one because that line down the middle was bothering me. So if I join, I've always said make a feature of it. I was watching Robin Williams as well this morning. That how transient, how very fragile life is. Made me wonder. So here we've got another sort of idea. This is great for when I'm doing testing and ideas for stitching as well. So here we've got these like patterns. What you can do is just put almost mini patterns in them. So on that one I've got my 3 dots and a line. Here I'll do another one. like that. So you're integrating them. So I've got your 3. So here we do the same, and I look at this and I'll just go, right, okay, so like that. So that's showing this, and then I've got another one here, so I'll do that with dots, and then this one, dots. So you bring in again the elements of one over to the other, and then this one is, I'll probably just do a, these are tiny ones, yeah. So on this one I'm going to do my round edges here. So the thing I've got to do with this, where's that on, is I've got to keep a pattern happening at the same sort of angle. So I'm using the edge of this just to bring it down, otherwise it looks very strange. It's very hard to get the correct shape or angle when you're doing this. I know I'm trying to do it for my stamps, and it's like I have to use a protractor and everything to get the angle right. And it's a bit like somebody was saying to me how everybody thinks that I go into a chanda with no plan, and yet I do. I plan copiously. And she said, he was telling me, said, yeah, but it looked like you don't. And I thought, yeah, I can imagine people thinking that, but I do. I spend a lot of time planning, more than 3-4 days easy. Once I finish one show, I start planning the next. You can ask the DT, because more often not, it can kick out the bloody creativity of you sometimes, of yourself, because you're that sort of demanding on deadlines and stuff. It can stop you being creative, and people have often seen good friends saying they need a break. So the planning, believe it or not, is everything. So this is like resembling a leaf. We've got like planetary things here, like you just know when the pattern's right, don't you? It just feels right. And if in doubt, make a feature of it. There we go. I'm really happy with them. It reminds me of stitch with the fragility and the stitching up, and you know how very sort of, we all sort of want perfection, and yet it's like that picture I put of the apple. If anyone's seen it, the apple in the mirror, and it looks all beautiful and pristine, and massive big bite out of the back of it that only us can see. And I think that sums some in sort of picture form. It sums it all up for me. Sums it all up. What you see on the outside is not what you see on what is on the inside. And I said to someone, I think it was Sue, perfection now. There's no such thing. To be perfect. Perfection is imperfection. It's going to be my quote. So here I'm doing the same thing I did there, but I'm using this wiggly line. And this is, again, part of the set that's on my website. Not my website, sorry. My doodah storefront. And it's really handy. So it's starting to, oh yeah, I like that. It's starting to look like wanted, which was fabrics. All I'm doing is pattern building with what I've got. Not difficult. You look at the edges of spoons and things you've got in the cupboard and all these different tools and gadgets, and don't look at them as a, say, a spatula, just look at them as a painting implement. So much scope in them that you know, it's quite hard to sort of, afterwards you forget a lot of the time that they're actually kitchen implements and not painting implements. So can you see now how I'm bringing it in so it looks like a fabric? Oh, I know, guys, I know some of you got to go for your dinner, but I brought the stitching into this, I know the little breaks cause problems, and I really like this one. So herringbone, I'm trying to think of herringbone. Oh, I think it's this, isn't it? So it might not be herringbone, it might be just fly stitch. Someone will definitely correct me. I get used to that. Right, so, oh, nearly. It does, doesn't it, Linda? A musical instrument, a harp or something. Right, a little bit of stitching there. I've got this little book there, that's great. I've had this for years. And it's a smashing little book. I think it's on, I think, now. You get some great little ideas in here. Obviously, it's all copyrighted, but some of the stitches that you see, oh, see what I mean? You get great little sort of breakdowns of it. They're great. You know, you think these new moodles and noodles, they're not. They're well, yeah, these are, because it's the way I'm bringing it to you, but like, it's basically, you know, how we can sort of transfer these into wonderful design patterns and put them in our stitching. So yeah, it's and it all transfers. You're using a needle as a pencil or a pen. Your substrate is fabric instead of wood, paper. Right, okay, so I'm just going to let here let it be a little bit broken, and I've 1 or 2 threads hanging off, a bit like that apple, you know, where it looks perfect but then you see the edges. Right, so I'm really happy with this. I think yeah, bear with me, I'm going to finish it, I think. Ow, 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 ow. Hang on. Coming back. Right, I know people have to go for dinner, so I've got my pencils. I haven't got the other pencils, are all at the studio. I left them all there, so but I'm glad I've got these down because I can do all my pencil work for me. So I'm looking at pencils, and I'm going to give myself a range of pencils. I like to have a range of pencils. So I'm looking at fabrics as well, aren't I? So let's look at a pencil work here. Right. I'm going to look at contrast. So if this is going to be brown, what I want to do then is bring something lighter here. So I'm going to go here for just around the edge. With a hard line. Now I am going to have to work quite gently and subtly with some of these because I've used a very fine pen, and I don't want to sort of take that fineness away. But all I'm going to do is just bring the colour in. And the way I'm blending is quite simple but very, very effective. Is when you start, you have to learn pressure, and density. So you can see the shading, it really does help. And also your pencil might get a bit shiny, and if that's the case, then you can't use it very well. So I'm just going to influence the colour around the edges. A tiny bit in the middle, but not as much that you'll notice it in the middle, apart from just here. Bring it out. But you might not like this shading, you might want to do your own, and that's fair enough. I've always said that. So where it's broken, like you see in the rip or tear. Get it? Hoping it's starting to look a bit more fabricy. Get that? Hopefully, can you see it? Is it starting to look more like that? Yeah, and you can add a little bit of more density around the edges. Just build it up though, but don't try and do it all at once because you just wreck it. It's harder to take it away. So I've got that one done. This I'm just going to do a very subtle sort of shades. Yeah, I'm just doing like a little tartan, very light tartan. Well, I don't think you'd call it a tartan. It's just like an ombre. Blending it out a little bit so it doesn't look as heavy. take a grey. Just run a grey down it to give it a bit more depth. It's like a fine line that you'd find in a weave. Don't worry about going over if you're doing like I am, because it's all going to rub out. So you can see we've got a tartany, very, very loose. And here, let's go for another brown. Where's that current? This one, it's stonking. This one, I love this one. Let's see what shading I'll do here. So here I'm doing light to dark. Not loving that there at all. I'm going to make this look lumpy. By lumpy I mean that I've got an edge to it. So it's starting to look a bit lumpy. And also it looks older. And this is a great way of, you know, bringing yourself some time to concentrate on techniques like shading techniques and strength, muscle memory. You know, the way that the pressure altering the pressure will alter the tense, and it transfers everything that you put in from your arm and your body into your work. Transfers. You can see it. You can see what you're putting in, the energy or anything, the tensity, the sort of, if you're putting in lots of delicate strokes, it all transfers into your work. So I've done that to make it look a little bit rubbish. So I'm going to go in with a lighter one just to give it, so that where the lighter fabric is, you'll see it's now looks like you've done it on purpose. Rather than you just looking like you're really rubbish at shading. See? Ow! Right, so I'm going to put some work into this. Not yet, because it's annoying me at the moment, but I might adopt some other colours in it just to give it like a velvet feel. Yeah, that's it, what I want to do. Right, here, really light, I'm going to go with greens, not that bright green, because that one would go with that one. There's more blue in it. Well, that might be an idea actually, using the separate ones like that. Yeah, that'll do. So look at the lightest. There we go. Something quite soft, you know. If you're really going to be heavy with your pencils, make sure that it looks deliberate, because there's nothing worse than it looking like you just, something was an accident. So make it look deliberate. Don't try and sort of fool people, because you're not fooling anybody. If you don't want it work to look like that, it won't look right. Just remember that if you don't think it looks right, then there'll be others that do. There'll be hundreds of others that do. I think some people make it their mission in life to you know, look for that. So here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in a couple of the lighter colours down here and the darker colours down there. So looking at that up there, I'll put this here. Is that there? Oh, look. I need a blue there. And down here, I'll go with the darker green here. And sometimes the density of your pencil does make a big difference to what you're actually doing. So makes a big difference. Like the edges here will make a better impact being slightly darker, because you're bringing attention to it. So again, down here. There we go, love that. That's gorgeous. That's one of my favourites. It's got a lot of... So here, we'll have a look at the colours. It's going to be quite yeah, it's going to be quite a nice little soft piece today. Every time I do that, it doesn't give me a bit of a... It's like going around the corners in a car. That really gets to me, because it really hurts. But, you know, there are worse things in life, aren't there? I'm just going to go around the arting with a little bit of depth and then lightness, and it just brings a warm area around it, and it also highlights it. Yeah. Oh, hello everybody. If I missed you, sorry, I know you've all gone back to work. I know a lot of you are working, but a lot of you watch later, so cool. But I won't be seeing you now until next, let me think now, when am I working? I won't be around next Friday, something like that. When you've got a light colour like this, you can play around with the density of it, bring it really dark. So here I'm looking at a colour that's going to really sort of pop these two. And I don't know why, I just saw these and I thought I'm going for these, so I'm going to go with these. don't know if you do this, but when I see a pencil or a pen, I automatically match it, try and match it up to a distress ink. Sad, ain't it? Sad but true. So these are the colours I've chosen. So that'll be a colour of that. You can go on forever with this, as you can with all of them. Finish them today or not. I mean, I'm going on a bit today because I'm into this, you see. I'm going to do the same as I did there. So I'll choose the colour I like for that, which I'll choose purple. Last bit now. Because it's hard to get a very dark colour, which is what I want. Like I did there, just so satisfying, this. This needs sharpening because it's gone shiny. There we go. You can see, just add some. Now if it's looking like it's all the same like this, what I might do is just use my rubber as a, there we go. That's better. Rub out where get it? Again like that there. So this one, I could put this one in there. I'm putting a base colour down because I'm not faffing around that. So it's all going to be a base of a pink. Now you could put a bit of frottage on this, which is layering with textures underneath. So I've got this, it quite looks like calico or something or whatever. You can use your pink, your purple again, or your blue, because you've got your blue there. So what I might do is just cross over that way, so I do get like a warp and weft look. And then I can darken it with a okay. Do the same here. and then rub back over with my other pencil to change the colours back again, because it's looking a bit too bright now. So if we just, oops, bring attention to the colour that way. There we go. I'm happy with this. This edge now is warming it all up, making it look a little bit more like impact. It's amazing, isn't it, how you can be. I'm just colouring in now. I don't even know if anyone's there. Bye, Rachel. Thank you, my lovely. Do you know what? I'm more worried about having to pack my car and to pack my stuff, because I know that's going to be the. But if I can just get it in my car, I can, you know, get it home, and I know Mark's here to help me. But yeah, that's the bit that I'm worried about, not being able to get the stuff in the car. There we go. So we've got, that looks scruffy, I know, but it needs something to warm it up. I'm going to go with orange. Is that too much? Not really. Looks more like a tartan. Yeah, I quite like that. I'll do it in definite blocks of colour so it makes more sense. Oh no. I'm going to warm this one up because this didn't have it in. There we go. Got a match now, and we can bring it in some of these here. So see, we'll start bringing it across now. And again. Use your rubber to create texture. There we go. I've got a distinct pattern now, which is cool. I didn't have that before. And it really starts to make it. I think I'll add that to this, but I'll do it this way. That's much better now. We've got that. It's got much more of a fabric feel. So I'm really happy with that. I'm going to have to go now because what time is it? Oh my gosh. Got to get my washing done. But you can see how patterns influence, use what you got your ideas like. This is definitely influenced by my stitching at the moment. Thank you, Karen. It's so easy to do, isn't it? You can do it with paint as well, which I will be doing. Thanks, Rachel. Hi, Leah. Yep, I'm all good. To wear is human, absolutely. I hope you're okay, everybody. Hi, Claire. So I won't be back till next Thursday. I'll try and, you know, hopefully people use catch up to get in and see a little bit more of this. But yeah, just use utensils from around the house. And the idea is that look at the fabrics that you've got, the net curtains, the voiles, you know, look at the gaps that happen and just go for it, and you'd be surprised how the use of colour, only lightly, can really sort of make that pattern come alive and look quite different, to speak, so to say. I'm just going to put a line of it there. Not a lot, I just think it'll help bind it. There we go. I think that's really helped to bind it. Alright, so thank you very much. I will love you and leave you. Yeah, that's the tip people have said. Thank you, Sue. No problem. Yeah, and I will love you and leave you, and I will see you next Friday. Shall we do a painting one? What I might do next Friday is use, which I think is a good idea, remind me, because I'll have it back from the Chanda, the craft store, is I'll use my moodling stuff, yeah? So I'll do a moodle. All right, guys, take care. Bye.